Hey there! Ever wish you had a personal tutor? One that's available 24/7 to help you master pretty much any subject you can think of? Well, today we're going to break down a really powerful framework that does just that. We're turning AI into your ultimate learning partner.
You know that feeling, right? You get excited to learn a new skill, but the moment you start looking, it's just this tidal wave of information. It is completely overwhelming, it feels like you're drowning, and you're left wondering, where do I even begin?
Well, what if I told you there's a simple, 6-step process to cut right through all that noise? This is the framework we're going to unpack. And it's all about using AI tools in a really structured, intentional way to completely transform how you learn. So let's start by reframing how we think about this. You're not just using an AI tool. No, you're actually building and commanding your very own personal learning engine. Just imagine a tutor that's always on, available 24/7, and tailored perfectly to you.
All right, so every engine needs fuel, right? And our AI learning engine is no different. These first two steps are all about giving it the right kind of high-quality information to work with. This is the foundation for everything else.
And this right here, this is the golden rule. You've probably heard that old saying, garbage in, garbage out. Well, it is especially true with AI. If you give it a super vague topic, you're going to get a vague, pretty useless answer back. So specificity is absolutely key. And here's a perfect example of what I mean. The term marketing. That's a huge, overwhelming ocean of a topic. But how to write high-converting cold emails? Now that's a specific, learnable skill. The sharper your input, the smarter the output you're going to get. Okay, so once you've really narrowed your focus, it's time to gather your materials. This is where you get to be the curator, handpicking the exact sources you want your AI tutor to learn from. You're essentially building your own personalized knowledge base. You can feed it anything: expert articles, PDFs, podcasts, even entire books and YouTube videos. This collection becomes the single source of truth for your AI. It only knows what you tell it.
Okay, so your engine is all fueled up with high-quality knowledge. Awesome. Now the real learning begins. But to make this whole thing work, we need a really crucial shift in mindset.
This is a total game changer. You have to stop treating the AI like a search bar. You're not just pulling up facts, you're having a conversation with a tutor. So ask questions, probe deeper, you can even challenge its explanations. Just look at the difference in these kinds of prompts. These aren't simple keyword searches, are they? They're invitations for the AI to actually teach. Asking something like, what are the common mistakes people make with this? That gives you practical wisdom, not just a list of data points. So you're having these great conversations, you're getting all this amazing information, but let's be real. How do you make sure that knowledge actually sticks? That's what the next 2 steps are all about, moving from just understanding to truly internalizing it. This feature is absolutely brilliant, especially if you're always on the move. Just imagine turning all of your curated sources into a custom podcast, with AI experts discussing exactly what you need to learn. And just like that, your commute, or your time at the gym, or even doing the dishes, becomes productive learning time. It's kind of passive reinforcement, but it's incredibly effective because it's built from your very own curated content. All right, now we switch gears. We're going from that passive reinforcement to active recall. Because let's face it, the best way to find out what you really know is to test yourself. It's time to turn your AI tutor into your personal examiner. And you can do this in a few really smart ways. You can start by asking for a structured summary, then maybe generate an FAQ to see the common questions. And then, for the real test, have it create a quiz for you. This forces you to pull that information from memory, and it shines a big spotlight on exactly where your knowledge gaps are. We've covered a lot of ground, but this final step, honestly, this is the most important one. This is what separates just memorizing facts from deep, lasting understanding. This is where it all clicks into place. Here's the thing about our brains. Real learning doesn't happen in a vacuum. For new information to actually be useful, you have to connect it to your existing web of knowledge. This is one of the most powerful memory techniques out there, period. In cognitive science, they call this anchoring. Our brains are basically pattern matching machines. They don't just store information like isolated files on a computer. No, they weave new info into what's already there. So by linking a new idea to something you already get, you're giving your brain a familiar hook to hang it on. You're building a bridge from the known to the unknown. So how do you actually do it? Well, it all comes down to this one simple, almost magical prompt right here. You ask your AI tutor, how does this new concept relate to something I already understand? You could, for example, connect writing cold emails to the principles of storytelling. And that is the aha moment where true learning just ignites.
So there you have it. This framework puts you in the driver's seat. You're not just passively consuming information anymore. You're actively architecting your own education. So I guess the only question left is, what are you going to master first?